Hey guys, happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. I'm going to do Monday's lesson for you. So this will be the last week of Zoom lessons. All grades will be finished on next Sunday so that we can get grades in for you guys for the fourth quarter. So if you didn't do your social studies last week, please go back and do that. I will give you credit if you do it, you know, this week and before this week is over. So make sure you go back and get that done. All the grades are up to date, so you can go and check your grades. Remember to check your grades. You can go to any of the slideshows, and you can go right here and click on this little A+, and it'll bring your grades up. All you have to do then is look for your student ID number, which is your ID number that you know you have in Clever. And then once you click on that, you can go all the way across and see your grades. Okay, so I would check your grades, see where you're at, see if there's anything that we need to maybe do to kind of get your grades up, if you need them up. If not, then you're doing a great job. So we're going to go ahead and be on page 354, and it's going to look like this. And this week, we're going to finish up with interpreting visual information, which is lesson 22. And we're going to be studying informational texts that have either a diagram or a timeline or maybe a graph. And then it's also going to come with the, informational text part, which is the word part of it. So here you have at the bottom, you see a graph, it's a bar graph, and then you have the information over here. So you're using this bar graph with the information to get the answers that you need or the understanding you need in the story. So like I said, our genre is a science text, and science text explain or explore scientific topics. So it could be natural events, it could be how certain processes work, or it could be like scientific discoveries. Anything that has to do with science would be a scientific test. And they often include photographs, diagrams, charts, graphs, or maybe even a timeline. So it'll give you like visual elements that provide useful information that are related to the text but not mentioned within it. So it's going to give you that information that might not be in the text, but it's going to be useful because it's going to help you to figure out your understanding of what they're trying to tell you in that text. So we're also going to use our graph and then also our information to answer the questions on page 355. So let's read the learning target. So it says, by figuring out information that is shown in charts or other visuals, you will gain a clearer understanding of a topic in an informational text. While reading informational text, you often see photos, diagrams, and timelines. These visuals explain ideas about a topic that words alone cannot. You also might see graphs with quantitative information in the form of numbers or other data. If you come across a special text feature, figure out its purpose. Ask yourself, what information does it give? How does it work together? What text details to add to your understanding of the topic? So we're going to read the text and study the bar graph and figure out how the graph is going to help us understand this little paragraph right here. So it says, a few months ago, I helped my science teacher set up a fish tank. The tank was 3 types of fish. We put in just 2 of the largest type of fish and many of the smaller types of fish. The tank is large enough to follow this rule. Each fish needs about 1 gallon of water to be healthy. So if you look at the fish tank, you can see there's 3 types of fish. You have angel, danio, and tetra. So that tells you the type of fish. Now this is going to tell you how many fish they're going to add to the tank. Here's the whole fish tank. So this is going to tell you how many fish they're going to add to the tank. So let's look over at our chart. So it says think, were you able to interpret or figure out the information in the text in the graph? From the details, you should have a good idea of how many fish are in the tank and what kinds of fish live in it. Use the passage and the graph to fill out the chart. So we're going to use this graph over here. And here's our fish tank. So it's telling us how many fish are going to be in that tank. So it says the tank has 3 types of fish. So we know those 3 types were angel, danio, and tetra. It gives you those 3 types of fish right there. So what else does the text say? Well, it also says we put in just 2 of the largest type of fish. So if you look at the bar graph, which type of fish did they only put 2 of? So look at the bar graph, look at the numbers. Which fish did they only put 2 of? There are only 2 angelfish, so they must be the largest. So you can see they had 2 angelfish, 8 danio, and 6 tetra. Look at the bars on there, and each bar goes up by 2. So even if you wanted to count how many danio, you can do it by 2s. You can do 2, 4, 6, 8. You see the little bars, and each bar is worth 2 points or 2 fish. So if you count the danio and the tetra together, you would know how many smaller fish there are. And we already know the larger fish are the angelfish. So I was going to show you on here, and I did have it saved and then I did it. But I was going to show you what the angelfish look like. So angelfish look like this. They're kind of a wider fish. They have these little like antennas that draw down here. And a lot of them are striped, so they kind of look tiger. Or even like zebra stripes. The danio fish, you can see, are smaller fish and they're slender. So they're skinnier, but you can see that they're smaller than the angelfish. And some of them are even like glowfish. And then the tetrafish looks like this. Most of them are skinny and they're teeny tiny fish. Even though they look big on here, they're really not that big. They're tiny little fish. And they're skinny. You can see this one over here, this rosy red tetrafish, kind of is see-through. So if we go back to our box down here, it says we're going to compare the information in your chart. So look at your chart. What inference can you draw about the minimum number of gallons the tank should hold? Use information from the text in the graph. Draw a picture of the fish in the tank. So if you look at the text, it says, I helped my science teacher set up a fish tank. The tank has 3 types of fish. We put in just 2 of the largest type and many of the smaller. The tank is large enough to follow this rule. Each fish needs about 1 gallon of water to be healthy. So you know we have 6 tetra, 8 danio, so that's 14, and 2 angelfish, so that's 16 fish. So if you need 1 gallon of water for each fish to be healthy, it would have 16 gallons of water, right? And you can count the fish by 2s also. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So it says draw a picture in the tank that'll help you with your answer. So we're going to draw 2 large fish, the 2 angelfish, and then 14 smaller fish. And that would give us 16 total fish. And we would know we would have 16 gallons of water. So if you look over here, we have the angelfish is 2 of the largest, 14 smaller, and it says each fish needs about 1 gallon of water to be healthy. So we know if we have 16 fish, we would have 16 gallons of water. So if you need any more time and you need to deposit or even go back, go ahead. If not, I hope you have a great Monday, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.